had stepped off the stage after speaking at a major conference in Texas. There were about 2,000 people in the room, and several waited afterwards just to chat. We exchanged business cards, we talked leadership, we encouraged each other. It was a good time. At the end of the line, a guy was waiting who had a sad look on his face. When he approached me, he asked me this question. He said, "How did you know?" I said, how did I know what? How did you know everything that I was going through? Because everything that you said in your presentation today, I needed to hear. He went on to explain that earlier in the day when he was picking his sessions, something told him to come to my session on leadership. We cried a little, I encouraged him, we exchanged business cards, and he went on his way. The question still looms in my mind. How did you know? How did you know what was going on in my life? I didn't know. The only thing that I was doing was following a sense of calling in this space of helping people learn more about leadership. Now, what this guy didn't know about me is that there were several times along the way when I just wanted to give up. That time in 2012 when I sent out my first email asking an organization if they wanted someone to come in and talk about leadership, and the response was almost traumatic. And it made me not want to send another email. The times and years after when I would send out hundreds and thousands of emails, reaching out to businesses and corporations and associations and schools, asking if there was an opportunity to share the things that I had been learning. And you get a lot of no's. You get a lot of rejections. And sometimes you want to give up on this idea. And sometimes you think, well, is this really what I'm supposed to do? Now, if I had given up at any one of those times before, I would have never met this guy on this particular day, at this particular conference, who needed to hear exactly what I had to say. Here's the thing about hardships and difficulties and rough times. They almost convince you to give up. But if you give up, if you quit, not just on your dream, but on your calling, if you give up on what you are called to do, on what you're supposed to do, on what you're wired to do, you're not just saying no to you. You're probably saying no to the person that needs to hear exactly what you have to say. So don't give up, because there are hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, millions of people that need to hear your story, that need to hear your journey. And one day, sooner or later, one of them will walk up to you and say, "What you shared was exactly what I needed to hear."